Well, hello again to all of my friends. I hope you are wonderful and amazing. Hello, Kazi. How are you doing today? So today I'm doing a play or is it a play on a stream on something else? What's it called? A parody? Maybe a parody? What's up, Jay Griff? How you doing? Doing a parody today on uh my good friend and boss, basically, Jason Blanchard. So make sure I put this link in the chat before I forget, because I probably will forget. I think it's also in the description on the YouTubes. But there's this guy. His name is Jason Blanchard. I'll share my screen so y'all can see if I can learn how. Yeah, we want to share this one. Yeah. Ooh, can I play around with this? Yeah. No. No. How about this one? This one? Oh, look at that. So pretty. Okay, how about this one? Yeah, we'll go with this one. Jason Blanchard. He does this live stream every single week. Let's find it because he just did one recently. We'll go to his posts. What's up, Analog? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Hope you all are doing well as well. I hope you're doing well too. There you go. Where's it at? I don't know if he did it this week. Maybe he didn't do his job hunt like a hacker live stream, but I know he did it last week. Maybe. Jason, where is it? There it is. Cool. I will share this link too. Copy link to post. So Jason Blanchard, he does this live stream just about every week. It's called Job Hunt Like a Hacker, and he does a phenomenal job of walking y'all through different tips and tricks to help in your job search. He talks about like LinkedIn stuff. He talks about resume stuff, all types of like that type of material, and it's very, very helpful. And as you can see, it says he's 236 plus viewers have landed jobs so far, job hunting like a hacker with Job Hunt. So I want to promote his stream. That's basically why I'm doing this today. But I'm calling mine Job Hunt Like a Slacker because we're slacking because I'm not doing it, right? I'm telling you, hey, this is a great resource. But we will talk about some good resources today in our stream. So links in the description. I threw some links in the chat as well. Check out Jason's Job Hunt Like a Hacker stream. Be sure to follow him on LinkedIn and all that stuff. It's really, really good. But today I want to talk about something that is a challenge for people, which is job hunting, right? The market, the IT market as a whole has changed drastically in the last 4 years, right? It's really changed significantly. And if you have one of your, parents who may be older and, you could say they are, like that old style of thinking, they're a word that rhymes with Zoomer, maybe, right? Like so that you might refer to them as that. And I only make that reference because they're the ones that are telling you go to the job place in person and go talk to the manager and tell them that you want a job, right? They tell you to go to the actual physical location of this organization that you should be applying for, demand to speak to a manager, and then tell them that you want a job. Doesn't work like that anymore at all. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about a little bit today also. The days of that, of you getting a job that way are just long gone. Like it just does not happen. You typically can't even go into a physical organization anymore and apply for a job there. Typically they're going to be like, go online, go to our website, fill out the application there. That's probably how like 99% of jobs are still, are like taking employment these days, taking job applications these days is you apply online. So that's, it's different, right? And that all changed in 2020. Yeah, 2020. That's when it all changed. And I think you all know why. So these days with job hunting, um, it's all online, right? And it's there's like something about this that I think a lot of people get extremely frustrated with, because it's all online. Um, the way that you will interact with people are going to be different, and the way that you build connections with people are going to be different. So I'm a big advocate of this. And again, people hate this. Like people hate when I literally hear it's like see people like uh express their hatred towards this like method of job hunting whenever people discuss this, which is uh, networking, social networking. And yes, I get it. Like I wish I didn't have to be on social media, but unfortunately I do, because that's the way the world works now, unfortunately, and it's part of my job. But anyway, social networking, that is going to be a game changer for you. And if you are not like seriously considering and actively looking at building a social network, well, unfortunately, like you're going to be kind of left behind in many cases. It's going to be much more difficult for you to find a job without having some type of social network that you can rely on. Um, and I say this because again, since 2020, a lot has changed. So building out your social network, like LinkedIn, like that's the best resource. Uh, Being part of Discord servers, right? Going to different meetups. So meetup.com is a great resource for that. Find local meetups in your area. Building out your network is going to be pivotal for you. It's literally going to be again a complete game changer for you. I'm just like repeating myself, and I apologize for that. That's loud. I got to turn that off. But anyway, um, people hate hearing this. People don't want to build a social network. People don't want to like make that active like communication with people. And I get it, it's different. Um, and a lot of us are antisocial, right? And a lot of us are introverts. Um, but if you want to get ahead, if you want to really take advantage of all of the resources that you have available to you, then I would encourage you to be active on social networks, the LinkedIns, the Discords, all of those. Like they're going to be huge for you. So I want to talk to you guys about well, first we'll just start with like LinkedIn right now, because this is going to be the best resource for you. Now, many people out there say, hey, if you're going to be on LinkedIn and try to build a network with people, add as many people as you possibly can. Just add like endless amounts of connections. Like that's how you need to be growing your network. And I disagree with that. Like there's advantages and stuff to just actively adding everybody to your network. Um, but it's really not the best way to go about building a social network, to building out you and your profile and who you are. Oh, that's cool. It's going to show live on there. Interesting. I didn't know that it did that. I didn't know that it changed my banner like that. That's cool. So I love to recommend this method for building out your LinkedIn profile. It's something I've talked about a few times before in videos. But instead of going out and adding as many connections as you possibly can, I instead encourage you to create posts that are relevant to the field that you are interested in, sharing information about that is relevant to the like the field that you are interested in, whether that's cybersecurity or cloud programming, whatever. Share your thoughts and your opinions on things that are happening within those different areas of IT. And not only that, I actually clicked in the wrong area. You can create, where is it? Like trying to find this. I should have had this all prepared, but I was like, YOLO. Articles. You can write articles on LinkedIn, which is really, really good for you as well. And this is a great opportunity for you to share information. It's a great opportunity for you to write how-tos, like walkthroughs. Share your documentation and notes. Maybe you built out a home lab. Walk somebody through like what you did to build out a home lab. Walk somebody through a walkthrough for like a CTF competition that you may have completed, like Hack the Box or Try Hack Me. Those are great things that you can do with writing articles on LinkedIn, creating posts on LinkedIn. It's putting information out there. It's sharing information, most importantly. And I think one of the biggest pushbacks when I tell people to share information like this, to write blogs about setting up a home lab or setting up Active Directory or a CTF walkthrough is, well, there's already that content out there. And so already created that video and so already wrote that blog. However, those people aren't you. And what's most important about this is that you can provide your own voice. You can provide your own thoughts and opinions about how you set up Active Directory or how you set up your own home lab, etc. Right? You provide your own voice to that. You provide your own thoughts, opinions, and there are going to be other people out there who are going to resonate with that because there are going to be other people out there who appreciate your perspective. And it's extremely important that you share that. So not only is it just putting this kind of like content out there for you, it's sharing information. This is the type of information that potential employers would want to see. Like, how are you active on this platform? Right? Like, or how are you active out on the internet? Like when they're searching for you as you're applying for these jobs, because I guarantee you, when you're applying for jobs these days, and if you're being considered for even an interview, people are going to be looking you up on social media because like that's just the thing these days, right? So it's like, hey, I'm going to go out and if I'm going to interview so and so, like I'm going to go look at their LinkedIn profile. And what are they doing and what have they been up to in their professional career? It's a great way for me to quickly see that information. It's also a great way to see like what you're putting out there to the world. Are you helping people? Like I love to see that. I'm sure other people would love to see that as well. But like you just sharing the information that you know, the knowledge that you have, it's going to look really good for you. So again, I strongly encourage you to write articles on LinkedIn, or if you have a blog, that's of course another great option as well. You know, and if you do have your own personal blog, share those blogs on LinkedIn. So that's kind of like a good first step of how do you start building a network without going out and adding like thousands of connections every day or whatever the heck, you know, people tell you to do with that aspect of it. Um, it's sharing information and your knowledge, and people really love to see that. And when you do that, like people start to notice that people want to connect with you. Maybe they want to learn more about some of the things that you're sharing. The next thing that I would tell you, and I think this is probably the most important, one of the most important pieces of all of this, is um, it's like when you're adding connections and following people on LinkedIn, you know, like this, whoever, like I would encourage you to follow people who are in the area of IT that you're looking to be in. Like, you know, so you can look up like cloud engineers, you could look up network engineers, system administrators, pen testers, whatever the case may be. Look these people up, follow them, and your feed is going to get curated with, you know, posts from those people. And then you'll eventually start seeing like posts from other people that maybe they're like connections with as well, that they may have like commented on or liked, that type of thing. And those types of things will start showing up in your feed. But I think what's most important about this is, again, it's following the people who are in the specific area of IT that you are most interested in. So once you start seeing, you know, these people showing up in your feed and they're sharing information about cloud or security or whatever, maybe they're writing their own articles or just sharing other people's articles, I would encourage you. Again, this is the most important part of this part or whatever, but like comment, share your information, share your thoughts, your opinions, your experience. You know, maybe you're just learning about some of these topics, and you could be, if it's an article that came across something cloud related, again, I'm just using these as examples, you could chime in and say, man, I was just learning about this. You know, I just took this class with so and so, or just watched this YouTube video that was talking about the specific cloud topic, and I learned X, Y, and Z from this. Or maybe you're able to like share what you learned in a way to help other people, right? And so whatever post that comes up, hey, like I'm familiar with this. Like here's some information that I learned about this specific topic. Those are great ways to start putting yourself out there so that people notice you, so people can kind of see and understand like what you are about, who you are about, or well, like what it is that you know. Sorry, I'm like looking between way too many things right now, and I should probably slow down. So let me drink some water. I'll take a little bit of a break here for a second because I'm just like I feel like I'm going 100 miles an hour right now. And I really want I probably show more examples of this. But I was not prepared. And I just want to do this for fun. So anyway, hang on. Sorry. So back to kind of what I was saying. The best way to grow your network, to build these connections, is sharing your knowledge, sharing posts, articles, things like that. But most importantly, commenting on other people's posts and the things that they're sharing. And you're either reiterating what they're saying, agreeing with them. It's providing additional information to that post, your thoughts, opinions, experience related to that post. And once you start doing that, and you'll want to do that pretty often, like I would encourage you to spend more time leaving comments that are relevant to those posts than doing like trying to just add connections, like add value to somebody's life, add value to the platform. Once you do that, again, people will notice you, then people will start connecting with you. And you're going to be creating valuable connections doing this, like actively sharing your knowledge and having people connect with you because you are putting yourself out there and trying to help people will build valuable connections rather than like the spray and pray method of, adding 100 LinkedIn connections a day. You're going to let the connections come to you because you are going to be sharing this knowledge and information, and people are going to appreciate that. That is like one biggest pro tip that I can give you all as far as building out your LinkedIn network. Now, of course, try to connect with people on the platform that you're genuinely interested in, that you genuinely want to connect with because you want to build a connection with them. And if you're going to reach out to people, Matt, please, for the love of everything, I get this all of the time on LinkedIn. People connect with me, and the first message that they're sending to me is, "Hey, love what you do. Can you help me with this? Can you look at my resume? Can you help me do XYZ? Can you refer me to a job?" That's literally within like the first message that they're sending me is like, "Hey, can I help you?" And that's not the way to do it, my friends. Please do not do that. When you're sending messages to people on LinkedIn, understand what these people are about, right? Like I would encourage you, if you're going to reach out to me and the end result is that you do want something from me, maybe you really do want me to like review your resume or, post like reposts that you're looking for a job, because I love to do those things and I will do those things for you. But send me like a real message. Send me a message based off of something that I'm interested in, that relates directly to me. Take a couple minutes of your time to understand who I am and find some way to relate to me so that we can at least start a conversation, and you're not initially like starting a conversation asking for something. Because when you do that, like people will ignore you and people will look at you much differently because it's, that connection is just based off of what you want. And yeah, it's not going to look good for you. I hope that makes sense to y'all. So I just want to, I guess, include that in there as well. So again, if you are just joining the stream, completely random, I called it Job Hunt Like a Slacker because it's a play on Jason Blanchard's live stream, Job Hunt Like a Hacker. And he does these live streams weekly. And I'm going to include the link here to his LinkedIn so y'all can connect with him. If I can grab the URL, that's his LinkedIn. Connect with him. He does these Job Hunt Like a Hacker streams typically every single week, and he goes into much more detail than I do, and that I'm going to go in today because, like, I don't know, he's good at this stuff. I'm not. Here's his LinkedIn profile. Here's one of his streams, and as y'all can see, he's helped over 236 people land new jobs by job hunting like a hacker. But today, we're job hunting like a slacker because I'm telling you the resources that you should be using that aren't me, that are better than what I could provide to you. I promise you. So that's I guess initially what I wanted to talk about. I will take a few minutes though to go through the chat, see if y'all have any questions. This is IT career questions. I primarily stream this on YouTube and stuff. This is going out on LinkedIn and other platforms as well. But generally, we do these live streams, and I encourage everybody to ask questions. And I'm here to like answer your questions because it's IT career questions. Yay, right? So if y'all have questions, now's a good time to throw them in the chat. I'll look through what like the questions that I already have, and I'll try to answer them. If you're here, great. If you're not, I'm sorry I missed you, but you won't know that I'm sorry that I missed you. Jago Bow. Wow, Zach, I remember watching your videos 4 years ago. You don't even recognize me anymore. Looking great. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Or woman. Or whatever. Appreciate you. Do I prefer going to college? I never went to college. I love to tell people, do what you want, right? Like if you think college is a good choice for you, you can afford it, it makes sense to your plan and your journey, go to college. But also college isn't for everybody. And then like the next question typically is going to be, well, you know, do I need a college degree to work in IT? The answer is no, you don't need a college degree to work in IT. But Zach, all of these jobs say that a college degree is required. Yeah, there are a lot of jobs out there still that require a degree. So you are going to run into those obstacles as well. You know, like there's just unfortunately going to be times where you're going to see a job posting come up and it looks great. You like perfectly match that entire job description almost, except for that degree that you don't have. And it could be a deal breaker sometimes. But a degree in the long run, it's always going to be helpful for you because it's going to help you. You'll have more opportunities by having the degree. And that's not to say that you won't have. Have like less Well, it is exactly what I'm saying. You will have less opportunities. There will still be plenty of opportunities for you if you don't have a degree as well. So, yeah. Analog Funk, you've had a lot of experience with being unable to get work, and I think a big part of it is your lack of connections. Well, I hope I covered great ways to add connections for you. I seriously just encourage everybody to share their knowledge. Really, like as you guys are learning new things, you guys are taking new courses, watching YouTube videos that are like tutorials and walkthroughs and things like that. Please, for the love of everything, take notes on this stuff. Open up OneNote, open up Google Doc, Notion, Obsidian, write it on a piece of paper. I write stuff on my desk, right? Like take notes, please. Your notes and your documentation and building those skills out are always going to be helpful for you throughout your entire IT career, no matter which way you go. Being able to document things appropriately and efficiently, all those things, like, oh gosh, like the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more you do it, the more you'll kind of understand like what all that you need to take notes on. And it's always going to be helpful for you because you can also turn those notes and those documentation articles into blogs. Yeah, love it. Or LinkedIn articles as well. Oh my gosh, XYZ, you're trying to get into blockchain programming, have 6 years of experience as a full stack dev with some known companies in your resume, but no industry XP with blockchain tech. How do you present yourself to employers? I would see if there's like blockchain projects and stuff that you could do, or any type of blockchain classes and things like that. Is there stuff that you could add to like a GitHub profile, excuse me, that relates to blockchain? Um, that's what I would try to do. Yeah. And then kind of what I talked about in the start of this video is just like sharing any knowledge and stuff that you have about blockchain, writing blogs, commenting to people on LinkedIn on stuff that they're sharing that's blockchain related, putting yourself out there. STL Phil, hello, sir. It's good to see you. You agree you almost have to be on social networking. You try taking breaks from social networking after about 4 days. He always end up breaking check once a day at least. Yeah, I mean, that's not the best way to like do social media, right? Like, because like it just, yeah, I hate that you have like that feeling that you want to come back to it always, and like you have to check stuff. Excuse me, that's like one of the worst things about social media. It's like so many people have or suffer from that, like constantly checking their phone, constantly checking their notifications and stuff like that. The best thing that I ever did was turn off notifications on my phone. It's been, oh my gosh, it's been a lifesaver. And I hate having a cell phone to begin with. I really truly do. And some of y'all get really, really offended by this. I know that you will. Uh, but like, gosh, because like, your phone has everything on it, your email and all of your social networks and all of the different things that you use. You shop from it and bank from it and all of these other things. Um, yeah, people text you all of the time, right? Um, I just can't do it anymore. Look at that. Oh, you guys are gonna be so mad. Look, and like people get mad at this too, especially this. Like, oh my gosh, you have 75 messages that you didn't read. Yes, because I hate having a cell phone where people like can instantly, or they think that they can instantly reach me and blah blah blah, all of these things. And then for me with ADHD, right? Like my phone's constantly going off then. And it's like, oh my gosh, squirrel moment like every 12 seconds. So yeah, no, forget that stuff. No, thank you. Mm-mm. Yeah, like I only like typically respond to like 4 people in text messages like consistently. Other than that, it's just too much. Jibby, how often should someone be posting on LinkedIn? Uh, as often as you feel like sharing information, right? Uh, like it, for you guys out there, and why like I'm telling you to like share this information and stuff, and share blogs and write blogs and things like that. I by no means am like encouraging you to be like any type of like quote unquote influencer by any means. Like that's not the intent or purposes of this. Um, it's literally to help you build a network. It's literally like, and it's to help share knowledge, because sharing knowledge is an amazing thing. And I think like everybody should be doing that. Every time you learn something new, share that, right? Share that with people. And maybe you'll be teaching somebody else something new. Huge on that. But yeah, like for you guys, like growing out your network, like share as often as you want, as often as you can. Every time you learn something new, if you think it's interesting and you want to share something about it, share something about it. It's like, gosh, especially on like platforms, it's like you never know what people are going to resonate with, essentially, right? So you never know like what little bit of information or knowledge that you're going to share uh, is going to like resonate with other people, and they'll appreciate that. So it's like you just, yeah, share as much as you can. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I'm like trying to look at this from like many different angles, because like how I would, never mind. I won't try to confuse you all. But yeah, I hope that's helpful for you. Casually Joseph, hello, sir. It was so good to see you at the Hackspace Con, by the way. Digging the Rucka shirt. You like the white and the red. I do too. I want to get the black one next. The black and the white one next is on my list for shizzle. Abraham, Microsoft fundamentals or A plus plus? Man. Let's see. Please hold. I'm gonna do something real quick. Let's see if it even shows up. Microsoft fundamentals. See if it. I can't. Did I not spell Microsoft right? Microsoft fundamentals. I feel like LinkedIn or I feel like Indeed is skewing this result right now for this, like a dental hygienist. I searched for Microsoft fundamentals. So let's see. Is there a specific name for it? What is that one? I don't know if there's a code thing for it. Or, oh, look at that. Microsoft. So 78 jobs, maybe. There could be more. I don't know. I feel like LinkedIn is kind of like it's not going to be very helpful for this one. But let's say, there was 78 or whatever. CompTIA A Plus has 7,500 job postings requesting that certification. So, I mean, if you had to make a decision, if you had to choose between the two of them, the A Plus is going to give you a little bit more visibility. It's a little bit more marketable than the Microsoft Fundamental Cert. But having a Microsoft certification, it's always going to look good on your resume. So there's that as well. But all in all, they're both fine certifications. If you can get the A Plus like cheaper or schools paying for it or something, you can definitely go that route. But I'm sure the Microsoft Fundamental Cert is much cheaper than the A Plus. So learning some of the information on the A Plus beneficial for you would be helpful, right? Does not necessarily mean you need to get that certification. But if you're just trying to get like an entry level, like help desk or like level 1 type of position, the A Plus is going to be, it's going to be the one, unfortunately. Hate to say that. CS Chicago, how are you doing, sir? It is so good to see you. I have not seen you in a long time, man. I hope you are doing well. What's up, Black Cat? Hey, Joseph Baker. Half of those are yours? Half of messages are yours? Is that what you're referring to? I've done a decent job of responding back to you, sir. All right. And yeah, you got to give me credit for that. Actually, you know what? I was just thinking of you because I was looking over here and I saw something on the ground, and I was like, I wonder if Joseph would like this. I don't know why I'm calling you Joseph, but I typically call you Joe. Yo, Joe. Joe. Oh shoot. Would you like this? If I can get it out. Hold on. Oh no, it's stuck. I gotta raise my desk up. Hang on. There we go. Joe Baker, if you want this, you can have it. It's a server. It's a Power Edge R320 server. If you want this, you know where you can come and pick it up anytime. Legit. It works too, by the way. And there's hard drives in there. So you could totally spin up VMs and stuff on there. Sorry. Yeah, totally spin up VMs on there. So if you want it, come get it. Yo, InfoSec Pat, how are you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. Yes, I am safe at home, and I'm leaving tomorrow for B-Sides Charm, which is in Baltimore. I'm so excited for that. I'm just so tired. I can't wait to get back next week. Oh, CS Chicago, you're not working, brother? What the heck? What happened, my friend? You'll message me? Okay. You can have it. That's all yours. All right. So we can get back to the topic at hand, which was job hunt like a slacker, right? So the next best thing I think I could talk about to specifically job hunt like a slacker, because I'm totally slacking at all of this. Is there anybody here in the chat right now who wants to work in IT you're looking to get into the field, but like you have no experience and you've worked like a completely different career your entire life. Like, is there anybody in the chat right now um, that like you fall in that criteria? Like maybe you've been, I don't know, a firefighter for like the last 5 years, and you're like, man, I don't want to go fight fires anymore. I want to go work in IT, work on some computers, right? Like I totally get it. Maybe you've been, excuse me, maybe you've been working customer service for the last 10 years, and you're like, man, I don't want to work this customer service job anymore. Well, guess what? It's too bad, because IT is basically customer service. No, I'm not kidding, but um, maybe it's like, yeah, I don't want to do this specific type of customer service anymore. I want to go work with computers too. Maybe you've been, I don't know, like an accountant or something for your whole life, and you're like 50 years old and you're like, man, I don't want to look at these numbers anymore. This is boring AF. That sounds boring AF to me. And you're like, man, I want to go work in IT. Is there anybody here in the chat that falls into like a criteria like that? Please just like put it out there, please. Evan. And hey, Irubius. Oh my gosh, I can't freaking talk, man. It's good to see you, man. I hope you are doing well. You, unfortunately, what was your past career? Evan, what was your career? What were you doing before IT? WG student, some certs, no experience. You fall in the category as well. All right, what were you doing prior to wanting to work in IT? Pat, why are you messaging me on why, bro? I'm live streaming and you're texting me? Come on. What the heck, bro? Excuse me. All right. Arubius bartended through college, got stuck there because of COVID, have worked as production planner for the last few years. Evan, you did some sales and manual labor for a pool company, then did Uber DoorDash while you got started. Okay. Chibi repair watches and jewelry. Your okay, degrees in comp sci, but no opportunities to show your love on all the angels, the angles, the angels angles. All right. So everyone out of work. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Reach out to me on LinkedIn if you make a post that you're looking for work or whatever, and all of those things. Put what you're looking to do, and I can reshare that for you if you would like, sir. I would be happy to do that for you. That's for CS Chicago. Sorry. Excuse me. So, all right, for you guys, Arubius and Evan and the watchmaker, Jibby, right? If you guys have been working in a completely different career field, this next little bit, it's all for you. This is all for you. And if you all haven't seen this like coming yet, if you don't know what's about to happen, I'm going to share with you my very best friend. It's a new best friend. It's going to be your best friend too. I promise you. Because you know how like Google has been my best friend for a long time also, because it has all of the resources, right? It's really good at giving me all of the information that I need. Really, right? It's my new best friend. It's the Chat GPT. I would strongly encourage you to utilize this. Okay. So for you guys out there who've been working past careers, you probably have a resume. If you don't, then definitely start working on that, where your resume is outlining what you've done, right? What you've done in those positions, right? Like in your past careers. So let's take production planner, right? Arubius, I assume you want to be like a pen tester or something, just based off of our relationship, right? Would that be correct? What type of job do you want to have? Like, what is it that you're trying to get into after production planning? What was your What's your go-to in IT? Where you want to be? What you want to do, my friend? Oh, and don't worry, I'll wait. But Evan, I'll ask you the same question too. If Rubius does not answer, where in IT would you like to be? What type of position would you like to be in? All right. So, how would my experience working as a production planner relate to a penetration tester position? This is what I'm going to prompt ChatGPT with. And y'all can do this with whatever your experience is and whatever it is that you would like to do in IT. So again, you could put in here, how would my experience working as an accountant relate to a system administrator position, right? How would my experience working as a garbage man relate to working as a cloud engineer or to a cloud engineer position, right? So you could put whatever you want in there. Like I've done this so many times with ChatGPT to make sure like the information that it gives back a lot of, is going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty accurate with things. It's going to be pretty much, I would say, on point most of the time with this type of information because a lot of what it's going to spit back to you isn't going to be super complex. It's not going to require like ton of effort or for anything really. Like all like this information is you could Google it. It's because it's going to take you like a crap ton more time to like take all of like the results that you would go through and apply that into a like in a way that you could like fully understand the overall picture. Instead, just use Chat GPT, because it's going to do it for you. So transitioning from a role as a production planner to a penetration tester might seem like a significant career shift, but there are several transferable skills and experiences that could be advantageous, right? Analytical skills, problem solving, attention to detail, project management, risk assessment and management, technical aptitude, communication skills. Oh, that's such a good one, right? Such a good one. Really, truly. So, what you could now do is like, okay, well, here are all the things that kind of relate to my past experience and also could be helpful for me as a pen tester. Really just trying to like identify like the relatable information. And it's going to help you kind of like paint a better picture for you. And it's going to help provide like a lot of reassurance for you. Like, oh, yeah, like there are actually some skills and things that I've done in my past life that could be beneficial to me in these positions. So it's like when you have on your resume that, you know, you're a production planner, it allows for you to reword some of like your job duties and tasks that you may have done so that it can apply to it can more it could apply to essentially like what's like what they would want to see in the pen test world, in the cybersecurity world, right? So you're gonna start to build out all this information. You're gonna like start to see how it's gonna create the story for you essentially, right? So like Rubius, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know, maybe you could throw in the chat as a production planner, were there any programs or apps that you used that helped make your day, you know, easier and things like that, right? So maybe you used like Excel to, you know, like, you know, manage projects and help plan things and all of that, right? Maybe there's specific like web applications that you use to help manage your planning and things like that. So what you would do then, again in ChatGPT, is in what way would my experience working with Excel relate to cyber security? And this is one is just like a super broad, basic kind of question, and it like this could be much better. We could prompt it with much better things, but I'm just trying to provide like some quick examples here, right? But here it's going to relate. It's going to help you relate um, your experience working with different tools and different things to the world of cybersecurity, right? And this is kind of like a bad example. I feel bad that I used this as an example, but hopefully y'all can like come up with ideas on your own of how this could be like helpful for you with those specific technologies and such. So let me look up accountant. Let's look up planner. Mm, This one doesn't list any skills. I'm trying to find like a resume example that I can pull. Cool. All right. Let me see if I could share this. How do I want to change my screen that I'm sharing? Just share this window. How about this? There we go. If you already have a resume, right? Like just hopefully you have a resume already. Hopefully it's already kind of outlined a lot of, your experience. Hopefully you have your skills and stuff on there. You could take all of these skills and like this was I literally Googled like yeah, production planner resume sample. Arubius, I'm just using you as an example, my friend. I'm sorry. But you could take like all of the skills that you have, right? And we could go back to ChatGPT and you could say, how would all of the following skills as a production planner relate to a pen test position? Right. And then we could just paste all of your skills in there. And ChatGPT is going to do its thing. It's going to take a minute. So I guess I have to like talk and fill time. So while I'm doing that, I'll look at the chat. Y'all are very quiet today. There's like quite a few people here, but y'all quiet AF. Don't be shy. And Evan, you say you're applying to SOC analyst roles. All right, I can come back to you too because you did sales. You said. Then yeah, this is like the perfect job hunt, like a Slacker stream, because I'm failing so hard. When you go and watch Jason Blanchard's job hunt like a hacker stream, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this guy is a genius. He's the best ever. I promise. Vilo, sorry, you're a witty shy senior dev. All good. All good. I get it. All right. So we took your skills, right, as a production planner, and how would the following skills as a production planner relate to a pen test position? So it's going to go through that list of skills that you provided, and it's going to tell you about, oh, okay, so thorough knowledge of MRP basics, GCS Premier, and GCS cost point systems. So familiarity with these systems can help in understanding how to integrate business systems work, which is beneficial assessing vulnerabilities in enterprise resource planning, ERP systems, and other business critical applications that are often targets in cyber attacks. So, like so just kind of referencing this, like having experience within specific different like softwares and applications and things like that. It's going to help you kind of better relate to like other similar types of applications and software and especially like the GUIs that you're going to find within a lot of these different applications and all of that. I kind of want to point that out because like anybody who's learning like cloud, for instance, right? Like you're gonna if you're like looking in the AWS platform, like it has its own GUI, and if you go over to like at Microsoft's Azure, right, like they're gonna have their own GUI, but they're both cloud platforms, right? They both pretty much do very very similar things. Having that kind of recognition that like, oh, okay, this is just a GUI. We're doing like kind of like the same thing essentially, right? Uh, but things look a little bit different. But the technology is the same. Not exactly the same, but in many ways the same, right? It's all trying to get you to do the same thing of putting something out in the cloud, right? Um, I'm saying all this because like it's very easy nowadays for somebody to really learn, like go and sit down and learn Azure. And then they could take their knowledge within Azure and go over to AWS and they're going to pick up on AWS much easier because you've had kind of like that experience with Azure and learning like how a lot of these, like how essentially setting up a system in the cloud would work, for instance, right? You're going to go over to, I think I'd used AWS. Yeah, AWS is the next, like, anyway, I hope you guys kind of understand what I'm saying there. I probably didn't do a good job of explaining that. So now I feel like an idiot, but that's all right. I do that often. It's just to say, like, there's so many different like applications and tools that you all are using um, in your current careers that could be completely unrelated to IT that are going to transfer over to IT, where you're going to see things that um, that just like it makes sense. It's very similar, and you can start like relate those things, and you can start like putting little pieces to the puzzle together with all of that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I hope that's helpful for you. It's like I always like look at um so I started off doing web development like 20 something years ago, literally 24 years ago. I'm old. Um and 20 years ago there was this thing called cPanel. And cPanel still exists to this day, which is phenomenal. But cPanel is essentially a control panel. That's what cPanel stands for. But it's a control panel for websites, and it basically turned the website management, like the administration for websites, into a GUI, like so that more people could easily manage their websites, like manage like MX records and DNS and adding emails and like creating different folders and setting permissions and getting into like SQL databases and things like that, right? Like cPanel made this really easy for everybody to do because it provided all of this in a GUI. And I probably should have referenced earlier on because I said GUI quite a few times. So for anybody out there who's not familiar with what a GUI is, which is just a GUI, right? GUI, that's a graphical user interface. So the cPanel provided a graphical user interface for managing websites. Really freaking cool. Really, really amazing kind of like tool, especially like 20 years ago when it came out. Because like I didn't know Linux at the time, and like I could not, service the back end of a website through like the terminal. Like that was just not going to be a thing for me. But cPanel made this doable because it turned it into this user interface that I could navigate through and use. Um, and I bring this up because, again, this is 20 years ago, but the very first time that I signed into AWS, I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me so much of cPanel. And it was really easy for me to kind of like figure out how to navigate through AWS, like as their graphical user interface, because like I could relate so much of what it was doing and how it was presenting it to me to the cPanel thing that I talked about. Um, you guys are going to see that like very, very frequently within IT. And you're going to like kind of build like these relationships with different systems and applications and GUIs and web interfaces and whatnot. And it's going to help you learn to navigate them better. It's going to help you learn to understand them better. And it's really funny, I think, how that kind of works, I guess, is what I'm getting at ultimately. Like, um, yeah, I don't know. I hope that's like helpful for you. I hope I explained that well. But it is like really cool how just learning like sometimes like one specific program, application, tool, whatever, can have like so many similarities to other things that make it easier for you to learn and understand. And or if you want to be a pen tester, like easier to exploit, maybe potentially, right? So anyway, going back to the chat GPTs, right? What we did, we took following skills as a production manager, had it relate to a pen test position. So um, this again is you were trying to build like this outline for you, build like the storyboard for you, if you will, of how you can start to relate all of your past knowledge or past experience into things that could be related to the cybersecurity world. So if we go back to the sample resume, was it this one? It's not that one, it's this one, right? We could take your experience, right? So we'll use we'll use Billy, this fake person, I hope. Billy was working at Marvin Helverson and Gulkowski. Sounds like a law firm, doesn't necessarily sound like a production planner or whatever. But anyway, we're going to copy that. We're going to copy what they put there for their production planner position, right? So we could again go back to ChatGPT. How does my experience working in this production planner position relate to a position? I can't type because y'all are watching me type, and it's just like, yeah, I can't do that. It's like somebody watching over your shoulder, like we all have that. Like we can all type like a million like words per minute when nobody's looking, but the moment somebody's watching you, you can't type to save your life. Yeah, I think we all suffer from that. And if you don't, well, you're just an oddball, but we still love you. So anyway, how does my experience working in this production planner position relate to a position as a pen tester? And then we can go ahead and paste in your experience in whatever position you were in. And I'm going to show you another thing that you could do with this as well, with your experience. And this is going to be kind of, I maybe should have started with that because this would be like the most engaging part of it and most fun that you can have with it. But what I like about doing this and kind of building out like and asking ChatGPT all of these questions is I'm building kind of like this little information pool within this chat. Like here's everything that we're talking about, or here's like the specific topics that we're trying to discuss within this chat. And I want to make sure that like all that information is relatable, and it's not like trying to go off and like create like a new type of instance with maybe potentially different information. It's like I want to try to keep it all in here, and so it's all related. I don't know. That's I guess something that's I'm gonna stop on that one. That's because it's just like it's a Chat GPT thing. It's something you'll learn and understand the more you use Chat GPT. Like I love to take all of my chats. I'm not a huge like LLM user, and there's some really pro like experts out there who use like different language models and do really amazing things with it and build like their own like models and their own like sub like things that they do with it. That ain't me. That doesn't have to be you either. But each one of these chats I treat as its own kind of its own resource, its own container, if you will. So like I wouldn't use the same existing chat to ask Chat GPT to write me a cooking recipe, right? Like that to me, it's like, no, something's going to get screwed up along the way because now the whole entire chat is basically going to be like tainted. It's not going to have like all of the relevant information. So I hope that makes sense. You've saturated its context window, which will help ensure relevance in its replies. Yes, thank you. I can't talk today. Like should not have done a live stream, but it's fine. We're making it work. ChatGPT is having a hard time today. Poor ChatGPT. Anyway, I'm going to stop it because it's just taking forever. Going back to this. So how's my experience working in this production planner position relate to a pen tester position? Right. Again, we were just taking your past experience. So it's like whatever you were an accountant, you were a garbage man, you were whatever the heck you were. Take that information from your resume, throw it in ChatGPT with that prompt, and that's going to start feeding you kind of information on how this all relates. And again, this part of it is just going to be helpful for you because it's going to help reassure that, oh yes, my past experience does have value going forward. It is going to be beneficial, or not beneficial. It is going to be helpful for you. It's a great tool to, I think, provide that reassurance for you. So read through this. Like it's going to be helpful for you. But what I wanted to show you next is taking the same experience, right? So whatever it is that you've done, and we're going to take it over to ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, um, reword my past experience in a way that would help, uh, maybe I'm struggling with this one now because reword my past experience in a way that would relate, that would help probably show, uh, aptitude as a penetration tester or something. I don't know. That's probably not the way that I wanted to word it entirely. I'm just trying to like going through way too many prompts and words in my head right now. This is like a good way to put it for right now. Okay. Like we'll just leave it at that. So you could change up how you would prompt ChatGPT. It's usually pretty good with however you're asking it questions. It's typically good at understanding you. There's definitely better ways or better prompts that you could use, but it's going to know what I'm talking about. It's going to understand what I need it to do. So here, to help showcase your aptitude as a penetration tester, you could reframe your past experience at whatever place this was in Detroit in terms that emphasize skills relevant to cybersecurity. Here's how you might present these experiences on a resume or in a discussion. So if we go back to this resume, the first one was provide input and feedback to management regarding schedule performance and adherence. Is that going to be the first one here? Performance analysis reporting. No, maybe not essentially. It's not taking it like one for one essentially, but it is going to provide different results that you could essentially put on your resume. So it's like you could replace, uh, provide whatever, provide input and management to feedback. You could replace that with this performance analysis and reporting. Evaluate and reported on production adherence to schedules, identifying deviations, and recommended optimizations. Um, well, now it's going to get this is providing like, hey, this is why this is why ChatGPT fed you this information. But it's like, hey, this approach mirrors the method. I can't even say that word. Method. I'm not even going to try it. Methodical. Got it. Oh gosh, I hate words. I hate English. I really do. It is the worst. Methodical assessment and reporting required in penetration testing to ensure that security practices align with established compliance and performance standards. Yeah, see, I would have like, mm, I would probably would have like reworded this even. So this is actually a bad result. This really is. I do. I feel like this one is not too much of a good result because it's telling you like why it's giving you this information. But it's like, uh, we should have included like, uh, for performance analysis and reporting, like followed best security practices to evaluate and report on production adherence to schedules or something. It's like maybe that's how I would have worded it. I would definitely have play with this one more. Gosh, I'm glad I'm doing this live because it's showing like a result that I don't think is that great, really. Like I totally would probably try to word that in a way that like we could include in there that you're following security best practices and compliance and things like that. Um, so try, yeah. Wow, ChatGPT, you failed me. So let's skip. I hope does that make sense to you all though? Like, right? Like this is a bad result actually. Because again, we asked it to kind of, so let's see, maybe we can reword this. Maybe it's reword best experience. Rephrase maybe would be better. Rephrase my past experience to showcase, or not showcase, to, oh gosh, how would I word this? Let's go, chat. Help with this. Let's build a prompt together. Throw your suggestions in here. Y'all know what I'm trying to do. I hope. Rephrase my past experience to there's like there's I cannot like get it off the tip of my head on exactly how I want to word it because oh my gosh, I'm just gonna sit here and like ponder on it for like 12 minutes before I get it. Um See, and people say ChatGPT is gonna, like, take over the world. It's not, if you can't even tell it what to do properly, right? It's a true story. And it didn't provide the result that I thought it would either. Rephrase my past experience to, I don't know if I wanna say, like, to align with, um to not align with penetration test, but to, like, uh, that would, mm yeah, so that, I mean, so if we wanna get, like, super technical with it, like, yes, that would be the optimal way to do it. What Arubius says here, rephrase section ABC in the prior response, please prioritize points such as X, Y, and Z, which would be like, how prioritize points such as, we could put in there like compliance and security best practices or stuff like that. So that would be a great prompt to and to be a little bit more complex and adding more information, which is fine. And I would, like, for sure you guys should do that, but we're slacking right now because this is job hunt like a slacker. So if I really wanted to job hunt like a hacker, I would totally use that prompt. But I'm trying to show, like, that there's easier ways that we could do this too without getting too complex. So, but thank you, Rubius. I'm thinking about this too long now. All right, so rephrase my past experience. So we're just going to say to, um, uh, in a way that would align with a position as a tester. Rephrase my past experience in a way that would, um, a way that would, let's see, rephrase my past experience in a way that would, no, there's like so many different, like, this is driving me nuts. It really is. I'm just gonna, oh shoot, no, stop. I didn't do it all. I'm just gonna throw that in there. This, I'm gonna throw all of that out. This is frustrating me now because, like, there's a way that I would like to word this and I can't think of it. I actually have it in a video. I know that I've recorded this before. I can't think on what platform it's on right now. Here we go. All right. So, security performance analysis provided critical input and feedback to management on here to operational schedules during strict compliance with set objectives. There, that one sounds so much better. See? Oh gosh, see, sometimes you just got to play with it a few times and hopefully you word it better than I do because I suck at words. That's why I make YouTube videos, y'all. I tell everybody this all the time. Everybody's like, Zach, why don't you write blogs? I'm like, you don't want me to write blogs. This is why I make YouTube videos, because I suck at writing. So y'all get to see firsthand that I do in fact suck at writing. Suck at YouTube videos too now. So that's a different story. But anyway, this next result, like, that's so much better. So, like, if I was going to apply for a pen test position, the only experience that I had was as a production planner. Well, I would want to reword my resume, rephrase my resume to have it more align with, like, that specific role that I'm looking for. So again, you could change this from to align your sorry, up here, rephrase my past experience. It could be as a, again, a garbage man in a way that would align with the position of pen tester. There's that, right? So, what was the other thing? Security systems optimization, implemented and managed systems and procedures aimed at enhancing operational efficiency and reducing costs, mirroring the approach needed to optimize cybersecurity measures and protocols. Yeah, like, I'm all about this now. It's worded so much better. But this is what I would be like. These are like some of the things that I would be doing for my resume, if I had, like, past experience and something different, than what I'm trying to go for. So, like, now, let's say, like, I wanted to be a pen tester, right? The only experience that I've really had the last couple of years is in marketing. So it's like I would throw in ChatGPT like um, my job duties or the things that I've done in that position from my resume, right? Like I haven't even updated my resume in I haven't not dang, it's been a long time. Anyway, I would take those job duties, description, whatever, however I have it worded, and then I'd throw it in ChatGPT and say, "Hey, how does this past experience in marketing relate to a position as a pen tester?" And kind of play with that a bunch of times and see what works. Sorry, I hope that's helpful. I don't know why so many people are watching this stream right now. Nobody's chatting but Arubius and Evan. Well, what's up, Allie? You're not in IT anymore, but when you were first starting out, you watched all my videos. Thanks for your work in the community. Well, what the heck? What are you doing now that you're not in IT anymore? You watched my videos and then you were like, nah, F that. Is that what happened? Sorry. Yeah, there's this too. We could definitely you could so many different prompts that we could throw back with ChatGPT. I'd like encourage everybody to use this. It is such a great tool. Here's a good prompt. Review the following resume and highlight transferable skills that could be applied to a cybersecurity role in the bulleted list. That's like gold right there, bro. Thank you. Thank you for this video. Huge thanks. You're welcome, JJ Gaming. I hope it's helpful. I would encourage you to go watch Jason Blanchard's live stream though. It could be so much better. It's like a million times better. I promise. I'm pulling up his link again. Because it's so good. He does it like every week. So please check that out. His stream is called Job Hunt Like a Hacker. So he'll actually show you things much better than I do in this chaos. Oh my goodness, what the heck? Sorry. Messages. See, I got text messages from people that I actually have to like respond to and look at, which are family and stuff. No self-deprecate. Oh, dude, I'm the king of this. For real. Like legit. I'm sure like so many of us suffer from this, right? Like we all, not all of us, I guess. I think there's a large subset of people within IT though specifically. I don't know why it seems like IT attracts our type. But there are a lot of us who just love to beat up on ourselves. So much easier to beat up on ourselves than other people sometimes, right? It's just that's life. That's the way it goes. I don't know. It's cool. It'll be all right. But anyway, that's all I have for job hunting like a slacker. I just realized I've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. So, how about some questions? Anybody have any questions at all about anything IT related and all that? If you do, now's a good time to start throwing them in the chat. I don't know like why all these people are like listening to me just ramble on. I feel bad for y'all. Oh, hello, cat. This is Asher. This is like the best cat I've ever had in my entire life. Just want everybody to know that since he decided to come up and visit. So, all right, people, throw questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'm gonna peace out on y'all. I'll give you like a couple minutes here because I know that there's like a delay typically. So please feel free to chime in, ask a question, anything. Thank you, CS Chicago, for your help. I appreciate it. If I need an editor ever, I don't even know what I would need an editor for. I have so many different like freaking video ideas written out. Some of them are like half like scripted, and I just don't have time. I don't have time to record videos anymore, and it's sad. Rubius, What's your take on skipping past more entry-level roles in favor of moving into something immediately akin to SOC or pen testing? Maybe a long shot, but you think it results in lacking skills? Yeah, not necessarily, right? Like, you do you know who Joe Helly is? So, he was a mayor before he became a pen tester, and he couldn't even get like a help desk job. He couldn't get like quite a few like different more entry level jobs because um, what he did was just went like balls to the wall, learning like everything that he could essentially, getting like certifications and stuff, doing home labs, doing like the networking stuff, and basically it skipped entry level positions. His first IT job was a pen tester. So there is that possibility out there, but like I also know and understand like all of the hard work that Joe put into making that happen. And like he dedicated like much of his life in training and learning um how to become a pen tester, right? So uh there's a lot of work involved there. Again, like it relied heavily on networking for him. Like that was I think the pivotal thing for him is that he was able to kind of build a network around him that helped him find employment as a pen tester, skipping everything else. Like he was putting himself out there and sharing his knowledge. Um, he was writing blogs, he was writing how-tos and stuff like that. And he was even like doing streaming and things like that. Um, not but that I would encourage you to do that by any means, but if it's something that you would like to do, yeah, you for sure could do that. But again, like that's just ways to put yourself out there, share knowledge, which people love to see, and help you build your network, which will ultimately help you find employment. It's like somebody that you could connect with now, right? Like in 2024, like you could have an impact on them right now in 2024. And like 4 years down the line in 2028, like that person is working somewhere and they have an open position for something that they know you have experience in. It's like they're gonna reach out to you. I'm like, "Man, I have the perfect person for that position. Let me reach out to this person." And it like be 4 years later, like I said, like that type of stuff happens all the time, all the time. So, yeah. Anyway, it's possible. It's like legitimately possible uh to skip entry level jobs and help desk and stuff like that. But you're gonna have to put in a little bit more work uh than people like other people like essentially, right? Certifications are going to be helpful for you, the home labs and documenting that stuff, the blogging and the networking. Like it's a lot of work. It's honestly a lot of work. Evan, you're going straight for sock, no remorse. You didn't spell remorse right though, like in that movie. No, no, it's regrets. My bad. It's no regrets. Yeah, sorry. But anyway, um, did you what did oh you I'm thinking of somebody different. Evan, do you have any certs or anything like that? Or degree, anything like that at all? CS Chicago, for sure, man. Reach out. Holla at me. JJ, how can you learn certification without paying for courses? Well, there's like I don't know, at this point in time, endless resources out there out on the internet that can teach you all of the material within certifications for free most of the time. Like CompTIA certifications, you can go watch Professor Messer content, which is like absolutely free on YouTube. So you can go watch all the A plus, Net plus, Security plus stuff for free, right? Like, there's a lot of other material out there like that. This is the start of your hero story, my friend, and good luck to you. Networking with people in the industry is key. 100%. Evan, any tips to convert connected recruiters into actual interviews and not just, hey, answer these and I'll pass this to my hiring manager and then crickets? Um, yeah, recruiters, just like piss people off. And Joe Hudson, if you're watching, I'm sorry, I apologize. But recruiters, for the most part, just suck. Like, just plain and simple. I'm sorry. If you're a recruiter, again, I apologize. But more than likely, you suck. Unless you're Joe Hudson. Joe Hudson does not suck. Yeah, recruiters are hard to work with, right? That's why I feel like what I talked about earlier on in the stream and I've mentioned many times, like with building out your network on LinkedIn and stuff and sharing information and like communicating, commenting with people, sharing your knowledge. And I have hair like all over because of this darn cat now. I'm sorry. Um, that's going to be more beneficial to you oftentimes than like trying to work with recruiters because again, recruiters suck. But if you're actively like communicating with people and actively communicating with recruiters, uh, don't just make it all about the job and what you're trying to do and like that you need them like to help you, right? Like open up conversation with them. Like what types of stuff did they like to do as hobbies and stuff? Like you could oftentimes like find that out online by looking them up on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, or just generally ask them, right? Just build um, a relationship with these people. Like building relationships is key. So again, if it's like a recruiter, just talk about stuff that's not even related at all to the IT job. Just try to get to know them, try to build that relationship with them, and show them that like, oh, like you actually kind of care about them. You don't necessarily have to care about them, but it's just these are like helpful tips to build a relationship. You know, I hope that helps. Rubius asked if I could stay in any one role and not have to stress about money, meaning work life balance existed regardless of the job. What role would you pick to spend your time doing? The role that I'm in right now. Like yeah, I honestly mean this and what I say. Like, working for Black Hills Information Security was a dream job for me. So like, there's going to be a lot of people out there, right, who are like who, like want to work in IT, right, and everybody wants to work for like one of the fangs, right, like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, whatever, blah blah blah. Um, you know, everybody wants to work for Google. That could be like a dream job for you. Like, oh my gosh, it's a dream job to work at Google, right? Yeah, my dream job was to work for Black Hills Information Security. And now that I'm working there, yeah, I feel like I definitely don't deserve it for sure, right? Like it's just like, oh, I'm not worthy. But that was like a dream job for me. So I feel like incredibly lucky to be where I'm at. So it's like a hard question to for me to answer in some ways. Like every day I get to help people. Like my job, I'm the director of content and community. Like it is my job to connect with the community and help people. I get paid to do that. And yeah, it's weird. It's cool, it's great. Like, yeah, I get to do stuff like this all the time. Yeah, I know. I I've shared this story off like lately too. Uh, I tell everybody now that I do marketing because I was too stupid to be a pen tester. Because like I wanted to be a pen tester. Like that's where my like kind of journey was like where I wanted to take my journey. Like way back in like 2018. Like I made a shift of starting to like well, it was like 2016 really. But by 2018 is like I was really like I had a lot of more focus on cybersecurity and going down the pen test route. Um, but lots of things happened and lots of things changed and all of that. But ultimately, like I discovered, like, oh no, I cannot be a pen tester. I'm not smart enough for this. So now I do marketing. But the cool thing about it is that I get to work with a bunch of pen testers. So I get to like vicariously live through them, through all of their stories and all of the cool things that they're doing. And that's good enough for me. And I also like get to help people become pen testers, which that's really cool too. Yeah, I love that. There, I'll stop talking about me now. You're 3/4 the way through WGU cyber degree. Solid, my man. Keep that going. You have Security Plus, LPI Essentials, Network Plus, and did Josh McAdore's cyber course plus internship. I've heard that name before, but I have no idea what he does. And I think you said you wanted to work in a SOC. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if you did say that you wanted to work in a SOC, you are more than qualified to work for a SOC, my friend. Go get it. Go get you some. The only other thing I would suggest that you do is John Strand's SOC core skills class. So I'll look that up for you real quick. SOC core skills, John Strand. Why does this show up? That is so lame. We're gonna have to do some fixing on that. This SOC core skills class, it is literally going to be the absolute best class that you could take if you really want to be in a SOC and a position in a SOC. It is very practical, hands-on. You're doing labs, you're following along with the instructor, John. You're learning all the different tools, methodologies, how all this stuff works, and really how it's applied to the real world. So completely different than everything that you would kind of learn from Security Plus, LPI Essentials, Network Plus. It's going to take some of the information that you learned from, the Security Plus and LPI Essentials, and it's going to have you like actually apply some of that information to like you actually putting your hands on the keyboard and taking some of that knowledge and doing stuff with it. If that makes sense. Just trying to simplify this. But anyway, the SOC core skills class, it's pay what you can. So you could literally pay $0. And I would encourage you to do that. Like, please learn. Like, just do it because it's good for you. But do it for free because the option is there. $0. It's a 16-hour live course. So for 16 hours over like 4 days, you'll sit down with John Strand and go through this course. And he is honestly one of the most entertaining instructors I've ever seen in my entire life. You'll laugh a lot in that class. You'll laugh a lot and you'll learn a lot. And it's an experience that you'll like never forget because of that. You're taking SSCP next week. Well, good luck to you, man. You love that answer and my reason even more. You're thankful you can call. Yeah, man, for sure. We're friends. 100%. So I'm glad you appreciate that answer. What's this? What do you want, Joe? Anyone local you think you should get a hold of for good networking opportunity? Yeah, I know a guy. What do you mean? What do you need, Joe? So for you, my friend, right? Like I'm excited for you, and I'm kind of like holding back in some ways here because the most important thing that you're doing right now is getting experience. Like you're getting verifiable experience on your resume, and that is the most important thing that you can do, man. Like above all else, like experience outweighs everything all of the time. So like I just encourage you to like grind it out where you're at, suffer through the crap pay that you're getting and just build that experience, get that experience. But like as you're getting this experience and doing a bunch of BS stuff, like I hope that you're getting introduced to the different areas within IT, right? Like you're picking up little bits and pieces about networking, and you're picking up little bits and pieces about like system administration and security and cloud and things like that. Um, it's so cool for you, right? And these types of like entry level, and everybody like in these entry level types of positions where you get to often experience a lot of these different technologies from a fundamental level sometimes, or if you find something that you're really interested in, like you could always ask to like shadow people that you're working with or whatever and help out with projects and stuff like that. But it introduces you to all this different tech, and it's going to help you identify like what you're going to be most interested in. And like I would always encourage everybody to follow what you're most interested in. Don't follow the paycheck. follow what you're most interested in, because like, yeah, like if you follow what you're most interested in within IT, you're gonna have like a much more enjoyable journey. And down the line, like down the road, right? As you're working uh through your kind of IT career, and you're doing stuff that you enjoy at some point, right? And at some point makes it sound like very far away, but it's often not very far away. But opportunities will open up for you. And it's so easy, like once you have experience, to like make these shifts within IT and get pay bumps and get like the money that like you really, really want. Um, but I would encourage you to follow that type of journey rather than following the paycheck journey, right? Because like if y'all out there like, oh, I want to work in IT because somebody said that I can make six figures. Everybody freaking says that, right? Like you look online, like there's so many uh influencers, right? I hate that word. It's like the stupidest word ever. Anyway, there's so many influencers out there like, yeah, you could make six figures working in IT and it'll only take you like 60 days or whatever the hell they tell you nowadays. It's just not real life. It's really not. Does it happen? I'm sure it does, because people can network really, really well. It goes back to this networking thing that I talked about earlier, right? So sometimes it can happen for sure. For majority of people out there, it's just not going to happen right away. Um, yeah, get that like take yeah. It the best way to make it happen, right? Like realistically, like sure, if you want to go chase the paycheck, I'll give you like the lowdown here real quick, right? Like if you really want to do that, really, really want to pay, like chase the pay, uh, it's going to take a lot of work on your end. It's going to take going and getting certifications, like multiple certifications, which cost money, right? Which sometimes can cost a lot of money. But you're going to want to get multiple certifications that are going to align with like one of these specific areas that often have those six-figure type of salaries. So like stuff in the cloud, pen testing and cybersecurity, those oftentimes you're going to see like there's a lot of job positions in those subsets of IT that do pay six figures. And especially within even some of their more quote unquote, and I don't even want to say it that way because people take this wrong, but I'll just say more of the junior roles instead of what I wanted to say. But it's gonna take more work from your end. It's gonna take a lot more networking, right? Like a lot more networking. The certs, maybe even a degree, right? Like there's a lot of work that often has to go into making that like making an initial transition into a job that pays a lot of money. It's very difficult to do. It's like I promise you, it's not an easy task to do. Does it happen? Yeah, for sure. It does happen for some people, but you're not some people, right? Like that's like I always sorry, I like to say that. Like, yeah. Happens for some people. It's not you, right? Just not me. However you want to put that, right? Um anyway, sorry. Jesus, you're having a lot of trouble learning Python, not even intermediate. You haven't found a good resource. Have you tried what is it? Code with Mosh? Is that the dude? Code with Mosh? I think that's his name. Programming with Mosh. That's the guy. Try that guy. He's pretty good at Python. Oh, this is the course that you were talking about. It's a Azure environment where you set up Sentinel and did a bunch of stuff. Oh, that's cool. Need to stop that. It's flooding the market more. What's flooding the market more? You haven't. All right. Yeah. He's pretty good. But man, there's so many different resources out there to learn Python. So go through the YouTubes, man. Like really just sit down with YouTube and look up like introductory Python. Like search for that. And you're gonna have like millions of results of people teaching you that. So just find like the person that you enjoy the most, that you resonate with the most, make it enjoyable. Make your learning experience enjoyable. That's so, so important because there's a lot of bad training out there. And there's a lot like, everybody learns differently too. So it's so cool to see like all of the different resources that are available these days that y'all have to utilize. Dude, you could even use Chat GPT to start learning Python, right? Like if you don't want to watch videos, just pull up the Chat GPT. It'll help you. Definitely help you learn the fundamentals of Python all day long. Evan Westman, the YouTuber saying it's easy to get 100K in 60. Yeah. So there's a lot of them. Yeah. So I saw somebody get inflamed on, I don't know, LinkedIn or Twitter or something because they were charging like $500 for like a 1 hour like coaching session with them. And like they were going to tell you how to get a 6-figure job in, I don't know, like 3 months or some garbage or something like that. Just nonsense. BS. Anyway, I'm done. I cannot do any more talking. I have to go to Baltimore tomorrow. B-Sides Charm. Anybody here going to B-Sides Charm? Anybody out in Baltimore? Go to B-Sides Charm tomorrow. To Saturday and Sunday, really. I'll be there. I'll have some of these hats that I'll be giving away. Some of them. Some hats. Anyway, thank you all for joining. I appreciate you. It's just random live stream as per usual. Before I forget, gosh, I'm like tired. I need to eat. My blood sugar, I think, just dropped like tremendously. Y'all probably saw that. It's like, I'm exhausted now. Anyway, before I forget, please check out Jason Blanchard's LinkedIn. Go follow him, connect with him, but pay attention for his somewhat weekly job hunt like a hacker live stream where he actually shows you how to job hunt like a hacker. And it's much better stream than this, I promise you. Anyway, I hope you all have a great